A pale mark emerges from the darkness. It seems to glow, but move closer and the illusion begins to fracture. The light becomes a landscape of cracked oil, powdered mineral, dried varnish, and black pigment. Nothing here is shining. Nothing is producing light. And yet, for centuries, people have stood before painted canvases and felt illuminated. That should be impossible. A painter can copy the edge of a hand, the curve of a face, the shape of a table, but light has no edge. It has no weight, no surface, no permanent color. A flame changes before the eye can hold it. Daylight moves across a room, reflections migrate, shadows lengthen, soften, and disappear. So what, exactly, is the painter painting? By the end of this investigation, we may understand how artists made dead matter appear luminous. But the deeper discovery is more unsettling. Perhaps the light was never inside the painting. Perhaps it was inside us. If you enjoy investigations into the hidden ideas inside art, subscribe and join us as we look beyond the surface. A painting begins with matter. Linen stretched across wood, chalk ground into powder, soot collected for black, minerals crushed into color, oil binding every particle into a substance thick enough to resist the brush. Even the palest paint remains opaque. Under magnification, a brilliant highlight is not a source of illumination. It is a physical layer blocking the surface beneath it. White paint does not shine. It merely sits there. A real flame does something entirely different. Its shape collapses and reforms. Hot gases rise. Color shifts from blue to gold. Its brightness changes with every movement of air. The painter cannot stop this light, remove it from the world, and press it into the canvas. So the painter attempts something stranger. The painter creates evidence that light has been there. Around the year 1600, Caravaggio constructed rooms in which visibility itself became dramatic. In The Calling of St. Matthew, illumination enters a dark interior and divides the scene. Faces emerge. Hands vanish. A gesture becomes visible while the body making it remains uncertain. The beam seems almost solid, but no solid beam has been painted. Its power comes from everything the darkness refuses to reveal. This was the first great secret. To make light visible, the painter needed darkness. Not empty darkness. Designed darkness. Darkness placed with precision, like architecture. A small illuminated face can command an enormous canvas because the eye does not measure brightness in isolation. It compares. And soon, painters brought the source of light inside the scene. In Gerard van Honthorst's Christ Before the High Priest, candlelight becomes confrontation. It rises beneath faces, divides figures, and turns illumination into judgment. In Georges de la Tour's Magdalene with the Smoking Flame, the candle becomes quieter. It does not accuse, it waits. The room contracts around it. A face, a skull, a hand, a fragile flame. Light becomes attention, mortality, consciousness watching itself. But painters did not make these candles convincing by painting the flame alone. They painted what the flame caused. Skin warmed beside it. Shadows climbed upward. Metal caught a narrow reflection. Fabric absorbed the glow. Distant forms surrendered gradually to black. The flame existed through its consequences. Pause here and look again. The brightest object may be the smallest thing in the room. Then the investigation moves from candlelight to daylight. In the interiors of Johannes Vermeer, illumination does not arrive like a revelation. It enters quietly, often through a window at the edge of the world. It touches bread, linen, ceramic, brass, maps, walls. In The Milkmaid, light gives ordinary objects weight and silence. In Woman Holding a Balance, it seems to measure not only the room, but time itself. Nothing shines dramatically, yet everything feels visible. Perhaps Vermeer was not painting light. Perhaps he was painting the world's response to being seen. And that changes the question. When you experience light inside a painting, does it belong to the artist's technique or to your own imagination? Tell us what you think in the comments. Is painted light created by the painter or completed by the viewer? To answer that, we must remove another illusion. Brightness is not the same as whiteness. Place a pale mark against another pale surface and it appears dull. Keep that exact pigment unchanged, then darken everything around it, and the mark begins to ignite. Nothing physical has happened to the paint. The light exists in the relationship. A muted orange may appear brighter than pure white. A shadow may feel luminous when it is surrounded by deeper shadow. A flame can dominate an entire composition because the world around it has been carefully reduced. No color shines alone. Every color receives its meaning from its neighbors. That is the central revelation. Painted light is not a substance. It is an agreement between contrasts. Support this film with a like if you value documentaries that explore the hidden mechanisms inside familiar images. Once painters understood light as relationship, solid reality began to dissolve. In Turner's Rain, Steam, and Speed, the world loses its edges. Machinery, weather, movement, and brightness merge into a single unstable event. The train is present, but it is also disappearing. Later, Claude Monet returned again and again to Rouen Cathedral. The building remained in place, the light did not. At dawn, stone became cool and uncertain. Under midday glare, details flattened. In haze, the facade softened. Near evening, violet shadows and warm reflections rebuilt the cathedral once more. Monet was not painting one building many times. He was painting the failure of the building to remain the same. Light revealed that every visible object is temporary. The painter wanted permanence. Light answered with change. And perhaps this is why the attempt to paint it feels so human. We also try to hold what will not stay. A face before it ages. A room before someone leaves. A moment before memory changes it. A life before it becomes the past. Paint cannot preserve light, but it can preserve the conditions under which light may return. A dark field, a warm reflection, a window, dust suspended in a beam, a small mark placed exactly where the eye expects radiance. Then the viewer arrives. The pupil opens. The mind compares. Memory supplies warmth, distance, atmosphere, and glow. The canvas offers pigment. The viewer completes the illumination. Share this film with someone who may never look at painted light in quite the same way again. Now return to the first image. A painted candle stands inside a dark room. Slowly, the flame disappears. For several seconds, its light remains on the nearby objects. A hand is still warm. Metal still holds a reflection. The wall still carries a fading glow. Then those traces vanish too. Only the canvas remains. Cracked oil, powdered color, matter fixed to a surface. Painting light is impossible. And that is precisely why it matters. The painter does not capture light. The painter builds a world of relationships so convincing that another mind supplies what is missing. Darkness is not the enemy of painted light. It is the instrument that makes light visible. A real room appears. It is almost completely dark. Somewhere beyond the frame, a small source turns on. Its light crosses the room and touches the face of someone we cannot fully see. For one brief moment, light exists between a source, a surface, and a person capable of receiving it. It cannot be held. It can only pass. And perhaps seeing has always been an act of creation.